On my way back from a business trip, I scrolled past a video. A newborn was abandoned by the roadside, crying so hard. As a first-time dad, I couldn't help looking at the baby a little longer. I froze because that baby looked exactly like my son. I had booked the best confinement center in the city for my wife. I had checked them into a VIP suite. I had employed a nanny and a nursing team to look after my wife and my son full-time. I broke out in a cold sweat. My wife didn't check her phone, so I immediately called the center's manager, Miss Thompson. She laughed lightly. "Don't worry, Mr. Smith. Your wife and baby are perfectly fine. They just fell asleep." The next second, she sent me a photo of my sleeping baby. I stared at the tiny, unfamiliar face. In that instant, the blood in my body turned to ice. I was only gone for 4 days. So how was my son a different person? After I got out of the train station, I quickly rushed toward the location of the abandoned baby that appeared in the video. I squeezed in the crowd, but was stopped by the police. "This abandoned baby was found. We plan to send him to the orphanage. If this were your son, do you have any proof?" I immediately took out my phone, opened my photo album, and showed the police the baby's birth certificate and my baby photo when he was born. After verifying the details, the officer looked at me with a hint of reproach. "Mr. Smith, you need to be more careful with your son. In such cold weather, a baby staying out for half an hour is extremely dangerous." I nodded my head and thanked the officer. I held Lucas tightly and rushed to the confinement center. I needed to find out what had happened. When I pushed the door open to the VIP suite, the nanny, Amy Schumann, was arranging the baby supplies. She had worked at my home for 23 years. She was close to me like my mother. Before I went on a business trip, I had told her to take good care of my wife and my baby. After hearing the door open, the nanny lifted her head up. She frowned when she saw the baby in my arms. Her eyes were filled with hatred. I asked hastily, "Why was Lucas left on the street thanks to me?" She interrupted me and spoke harshly. "Ethan, Lucas is fine at the confinement center. Why did you bring back a random baby? What's going on?" I was stunned. "A random baby? Amy, what are you saying?" "This is Lucas." Amy took a step forward, wanting to take the baby in my arms. "I think you have gone mad. Hurry and throw out this random baby." She was so strong that I almost lost my hold of Lucas. I was utterly confused. "Amy, you look closely. This is definitely Lucas." Amy moved back as if she saw something dirty. At this moment, the bedroom door swung open. My wife, Susan Blackwood, walked in. I immediately relaxed for a bit. As the mother of her baby, she definitely could recognize her own son. Unexpectedly, Susan screamed and pointed at the baby in my arms. "Ethan Smith, did you do something behind my back? Why did you bring back a random baby?" I was completely stunned. Susan warned me, "Ethan, send this baby away. If not, I will divorce you." I couldn't believe what I heard. Lucas seemed to understand and started crying out loud. He held my shirt tightly with his tiny fist. Susan and Amy were both closest to me. Why did they team up and deny my son? I held Lucas in my arms and kicked the door open of Miss Thompson's office. I questioned her angrily. "Why was my son, Lucas, abandoned on the roadside? Who is the baby in the photo you sent me?" The manager smiled. "Mr. Smith, I think you are mistaken. I will show you the security footage." In the footage on her laptop, it was clear that the imposter baby on the bed had never left the room since birth. "Have a look. Your son has been well taken care of. The baby in your arms. I have no clue where you found him. Only you know the truth." In disbelief, I yanked the mouse over and fast forwarded. The footage was real. Nothing was edited. Suddenly, the office door was pushed open. Susan's brother, John Blackwood, brought a few relatives and rushed in. He patted my shoulder and said, "Ethan, are you out of your mind? Why didn't you let Susie rest when she just gave birth? We're both men, so I get you. But let's discuss this after Susie comes home." "That's right. Do you know how hard it was when Susan was pregnant? How can you bring back a random baby from outside? How can you mistreat your own wife and child for the sake of another woman?" Susan's relatives were warning me. I was so furious.